And so from Phoenix, Arizona, Dr. Fred. And I'm out.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Tunes that drive me insane.
Oh, behave.
Have a good time, take a break.
Swing, baby, yeah.
One more time. Y'all ready for this?
Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body.
Let the beat, let the beat.
Let the beat control your body. Let the beat control your body.
Now let my beat control your body.
Smash it, baby.
1, 2, 3, go. Universe, you got it. Y'all ready for this?
You got to move it, feel the temperature into the rhythm. Let the fire burn, so get into it, get into the trance. This is the rhythm of the tribal, that's the tribal
Let's go to work.
Tonight we have a unique opportunity to listen to some of the new doctors and the questions that they have regarding their practice and their family life. When you train with Mo Chichu, with Schofield Chiropractic, you have the opportunity, yes, to ask Dr. Fred and I questions. Yes, we are available 24/7. But the networking that goes on at our training with the new and the old timers is very unique. And it's as important to get involved. If you've trained with us for a long time, it's very important that you get involved and refresh yourself and help the new doctor. So tonight, as you watch the video and you listen to some of the questions and you listen to some of the answers that the old timers have, our goal, our hope is that you gain one thing that you can go back and improve your practice and your family balance with.
How did they decide where they want to open up their practice? You know, is it just because where they want to live, or did they think that particular state was just booming for chiropractic? How did they decide where they wanted to open their practice up?
The first thing that he wants to figure out is, what does he want in life? What does he want to do? Where does he want to live? How does he want to live his life? How does he want to have a family? What does he want his family to do? Does he want cold, warm, hot weather? Can he live with both? Can he live where does he want to live? How does he want to have a family structure? Does he want to be outside with his family? Does he want to do inside stuff? Can he handle those changes? Does he want to have the family involved, or does he want to keep them separate? What does he actually want? And that will help him then decide where to look for a community that has that. Because that community is anywhere, but it has to be in here. First you got to figure out where you want to live in here. And read your goals and set some goals and set a plan. No, that plan might not work out the way you exactly thought, but if you have some faith, this is something greater, thank you, Lord. That's what you say. The end of time, every time you read your goals, this is something greater, thank you, Lord. And you'll get there, and it's more about getting your headspace on straight. New patients, that's headspace.
I would suppose you need to open an office where you want to live. Would be a good start. Find a place you want to live, because anywhere you open an office, people will come. When I had that problem with opening an office, I had pictures of different office sites, and I had a lot of questions, about rent and square footage and location and schools and where people are, and I just brought the pictures in and I showed them to some of the doctors here and Dr. Fred, and everyone to a person just pointed to this one picture of this office and said, I like that one. Get that one. And I don't know why, it just was the one that actually was lower on my list of getting, but it actually turned out to be a blessing, so for locations and things like that.
I actually went back to my hometown. I grew up just outside of Bakersfield, in a small town, Bakersfield. So I basically went back to Bakersfield to practice, and it worked out for me. I knew a lot of people, a lot of contacts, so I liked the area, and so it was pretty easy for me.
What do you find is the biggest factor in retaining patients?
This, your mouth. You gotta have a little attitude. Talking. It's not always chiropractic. The adjustment sometimes, no. The adjustment most of the time is all up here with them. So the key for me is finding the common bond with the patient. Where do you link up? It's not talking about you, but it's personalizing it with them. Because I used to tell people I just look normal on the outside, but I'm pretty peculiar on the inside, because people would say, oh my God, you had your kids at home. Well, then they look at you and you look kind of normal. Some would dispute that with me. You look normal and they go, oh, wow, I didn't realize that there were people out there that could do that. So getting them in the door is one thing, keeping them there is another. There's so many, to me, factors that go into that. You want every visit to be special. I tell my staff, it's easy, to me, it's easy to make a visit special. For a new patient, hello, they've never been there before. So if you're nice to them, if you make it easy for them to be a patient there's nothing to it. The trick is, how do I make it special for the person that's been adjusted by me 150 times over 24 years? How do you make it special for them?
To me, the real answer to retention is really just telling the patients the truth, rather than telling them what you think they may want to hear. In other words, they can always benefit from an adjustment. You're always better off being in alignment than out of alignment. And just, rather than telling them, yes, this is only going to take 4 visits, or it's only going to take 2 weeks, if you honestly know that it's going to take a year, tell them it's going to take a year.
Well, the secret to retaining patients is, one, it's got to be financially prudent for the patient to be able to afford to come to care. I think that's one. That's number one, because if it's not, after a short period of time, that stress will outweigh any benefit that they're gaining in your office. And secondly, it's the enthusiasm the doctor brings to every single patient encounter. Ultimately, I don't think it is patient education. It's the enthusiasm and the energy the doctor brings to the patient, and the patients are attracted to that, and they desperately want that and need that, and they will pay for that.
Yeah, isn't that the great question? And the best advice I can give you on retention is to sit down in the bar on Friday night, and buy Gavin a beer, buy Michael Moore a beer, buy Robert Moore a beer. I mean, there are some guys at this training that know more about retention than has ever been written and ever been spoken. And I'd buy some of these people that really understand